Ethan Walker had lived in Colorado most of his life, and though he was now a successful CEO of a growing tech company, he never forgot what it felt like to be young, broke, and unsure of tomorrow. Being a single dad to his 12-year-old daughter, Emma, only made him more aware of how fragile life could be. That's why he made it a point to personally visit the community centers his company funded. He didn't want to be the kind of leader who only signed papers and never truly saw the people he hoped to help. On a chilly Saturday morning, Ethan and Emma arrived at the Maple Ridge Community Center, just outside Denver. The food distribution area was busy, volunteers sorting boxes, families waiting patiently, kids holding bags almost as big as themselves. The air smelled of warm soup and cardboard, and the atmosphere was noisy but familiar. As Ethan walked inside, something caught his eye. Near a stack of canned goods, a small boy, maybe 9 or 10, was standing completely still, holding a half-filled box of groceries. His clothes were worn, and his hair looked like it hadn't been cut in a while. But what really struck Ethan was the fear in the boy's eyes. The boy shifted backward as Ethan approached, pulling his box closer to his chest as if it were treasure someone wanted to steal. "Hey, it's okay," Ethan said softly, lowering his voice. "I'm just looking around." But the boy's voice trembled as he blurted out, "Please, don't take our food. My mom is sick. We need this." Ethan froze, not because the boy was rude, but because the child's fear felt too real, too heavy for someone his age. Emma, standing beside her dad, looked at the boy with wide, concerned eyes. "I'm not here to take anything from you," Ethan said gently, kneeling so he wasn't towering over him. "I promise." The boy blinked, confused. Most adults he dealt with simply told him what to do. They rarely explained anything. Ethan continued, "I'm here to make sure this place has enough food for everyone. Including you." The boy hesitated, gripping the box so tightly his knuckles turned white. Ethan could see how tired he looked, the kind of exhaustion that didn't come from playing or staying up late, but from worrying too much. "What's your name?" Ethan asked. "Liam," he whispered. "And your mom, she's really sick." Liam nodded. "She can't work right now. I try to help, but sometimes we don't have enough." The admission hit Ethan like a punch. No child should feel responsible for keeping his family afloat. Before he could respond, a weak voice called from behind the shelves. "Liam, are you okay?" A woman slowly stepped forward, leaning on the shelf for balance. Pale, thin, trying to look stronger than she felt, Ethan immediately understood why Liam was so worried. "Mom, he thought you'd take our food," Liam said quietly. The woman looked embarrassed, but Ethan shook his head quickly. "No, I'm here to make sure you never lose it." And as he said those words, he knew this wasn't going to be a simple visit. This family needed more than groceries. They needed someone who wouldn't walk away. Ethan helped Liam's mother, Sarah, sit down on one of the chairs near the distribution table. She tried to smile, but it was clear she was exhausted. Her movements were slow, like each step required more strength than she had. Liam stayed close to her side, holding her hand as if afraid she might slip away if he let go. "I'm sorry," Sarah said softly to Ethan. "Liam gets scared when things run out. He's been trying to act older than he is. He's just trying to protect you," Ethan replied gently. "That's something to be proud of." Sarah looked down, ashamed rather than comforted. "I should be the one protecting him. But ever since I started treatment, everything's become harder. I had to stop working, and the bills." She didn't finish, but Ethan understood. Medical bills in the US could swallow a family whole, especially one already living close to the edge. Ethan glanced at the thin stack of groceries in their box. Rice, canned soup, a small bag of apples. Barely enough for a week. "Have you been getting help consistently from the center?" Ethan asked. "Whenever we can walk here," Sarah said. "Some days are good, some, not so good." Liam shifted uncomfortably. "Sometimes I miss school so I can come instead." Emma, who had been quietly listening, stepped closer. "You shouldn't have to do that," she said softly. "Kids need school." Liam shrugged. "Mom needs food." The simple statement cut straight through Ethan. He exchanged a glance with Emma, who gave him a small nod, as if reminding him silently of all the times he had told her that people mattered more than numbers. Ethan took a deep breath. "Listen, this isn't just about groceries anymore. There are programs, medical support, home assistance, even job placements, that my company funds. I can get you connected to people who can help. Sarah blinked, taken aback. Why would you do that for us? You don't even know us. Maybe not, Ethan admitted. But I know what it's like to feel alone when things get hard. And I don't think anyone should go through that, especially not kids. Liam looked up at him with a mixture of hope and uncertainty. You really mean it? Yes, Ethan said, but I need your permission to take the next steps. I won't do anything without asking. For a moment, the room felt still. Sarah wiped her eyes quickly before the tears could fall. If you can help, even a little, we'd be grateful. Ethan smiled warmly. We'll start today. He spoke with the center director, who immediately arranged a medical caseworker to visit Sarah at home. He also contacted his company's outreach office, requesting an urgent review of her situation. Within an hour, the process was already in motion: medical support, grocery deliveries, and a remote job assessment for whenever Sarah felt strong enough. Before leaving, Ethan knelt down so he and Liam were eye level. You never have to worry about losing your food again, he said. Liam didn't say anything at first. He just stepped forward and hugged Ethan tightly, relief flooding through him. As Ethan walked out with Emma, he knew this wasn't charity. It was responsibility, the kind people owed each other. Over the next few weeks, Ethan made it a routine to stop by the Maple Ridge Community Center after work. He didn't announce his visits or bring anyone from his company. He simply showed up, checked on the volunteers, and most importantly, checked on Sarah and Liam. It wasn't out of obligation, it felt like something he was meant to do. Sarah's treatment had stabilized a bit, thanks to the medical support arranged through the outreach program. A nurse visited their apartment twice a week, helping her manage medication and energy levels. For the first time in months, she had moments where she could stand longer, move comfortably, and even talk without feeling breathless. One afternoon, Ethan received an update from his outreach team. Sarah had passed the initial screening for remote administrative work. It wasn't a full-time job yet, but it was a meaningful step toward independence. He decided to visit Liam and Sarah in person to share the news. Their apartment was small but tidy. Liam opened the door, his face breaking into a smile the moment he saw Ethan. Mom's feeling better today, he announced proudly. That's great to hear, Ethan said, stepping inside with Emma trailing behind. She carried a small box of art supplies, her idea for Liam. Sarah sat on the couch, looking stronger than before, though still fragile. You didn't have to come all this way, she said. I wanted to, Ethan replied. And I have good news. He explained that the company was offering her paid training that she could do from home. It would start slow, just a few hours a day, but would allow her to rebuild her confidence and skills without risking her health. Sarah covered her mouth, overwhelmed. I thought I was becoming a burden. I didn't think anyone would give me a chance. You're not a burden, Ethan said gently. You just needed support. Everyone does at some point. Liam looked between them, hope lighting his face. Does this mean things will get better? Yes, Sarah whispered, pulling him close. They will. Emma stepped forward shyly and handed Liam the box of art supplies. For you, she said. I thought maybe you'd like drawing. It helped me when things were hard. Liam opened the box, his eyes widening. I love it, he said, grinning. The room, once quiet and heavy, now felt warm, filled with something that felt like healing and possibility. Before Ethan and Emma left, Sarah stopped him at the door. I don't know how to thank you, she said. We would have fallen apart without your help. Ethan shook his head. You don't owe me anything. Life gave you a heavy season. I just helped carry it for a while. She smiled. Genuine, bright. Still, thank you. As they walked to the car, Emma nudged her dad. You know, I think Liam really looks up to you. Ethan smiled softly. I just want him to have a childhood, not responsibilities he shouldn't have. Driving home, Ethan felt a quiet satisfaction wash over him. He didn't fix everything, and he knew their journey wasn't over, but he had changed the direction of their lives. Sometimes, all people needed was one person who cared enough to show up. And Ethan knew he would keep showing up, not as a CEO, but simply as someone who believed kindness should never be optional.